We were confused. She said that she was sweeping and she saw what she thought were my brother's boots as if it were him, but when he called from another room, she looked up to see a tall man, very pale. He was older, around 60 to 70. He had a hat on similar to a cowboy hat that older men rarely wear now. A button-up shirt that she mentioned was buttoned all the way to the top. She said he just looked at her, staring with an empty gaze. He didn't move, didn't talk, and just stood there and then disappeared into thin air. He was standing by the back door as if he walked from the room leading to the laundry room. We looked far and wide and found no one and never saw him again. My father's father was a carpenter and had worked on half the houses and business in town, whether he was building it or fixing it. My impression was that he had originally built the house that I lived in with my mother and that it was 40 to 60 years old tops. I hesitantly tell him what had happened. Mind you, I did not find out about the top button until later. And he was a very cynical man. Couldn't get BS past him. I expected to be told my mother was crazy or it was my imagination, but he simply told me to ask her if the man had the top button buttoned, which he had, and he went on to say that the man's name was Lambert. He was formerly a doctor and a handyman whom everyone called Old Man Lambert. He said he lived in the house and had helped my grandfather renovate it. Turns out, my grandfather did not originally build the house, but merely made repairs because that house has been around since the Confederacy was here in the 1860s. He later on said that he repaired it in the late 50s, early 60s, just before Lambert died. He also stated Lambert was not 60 or 70 but over 80 then, making his birth year around Reconstruction, 1870 to 1890. He jokingly told my mom who he was stating. He was a great guy. He just doesn't like what you're doing. My mother had lived in the house with my stepdad before they were married briefly before, or also known as shacking up where I'm from. The older generation does not believe in living with your spouse before you're married, Lambert especially. It not only offended my mom, who left my dad after an affair, it freaked her out. They later split up and abandoned the house. She has since remarried. Upon asking the former owners, they had been afraid to mention that they had been touched, etc. in the time that they had lived there, only to find no one was there to touch them. We never did find the ID of the female voice I kept hearing. The house has been repurchased and so far nothing out of the ordinary has been reported.